Hi, welcome to Survival Skills. So I'm still recovering from that ocean monument build, from all that draining and all the grind to, drain out around that thing. So I took a few days off. I'm back now. I'm in my gold farm right now, and I'm just hanging out and getting some gold. I like to use gold for my beacons to get to make gold blocks to build my beacons. So I've been just AFK here. I don't know if you guys have seen this. Some of you have maybe seen my gold farm video and others haven't. So this is the gold farm. I have something else to show you in this video, but this is just where I happen to be right now. So I thought I would just give you a quick look at this, and then we'll go take it a look at another gigantic, ginormous build that the same guy that I've been working with on the Gauntlet and the Guardian farm. He's doing another build. He's doing a Jedi Temple. So I was going to pop over there and show you the beginnings of that, so you can see what it looks like in the beginning. And I might offer to help him on that. And I'm good for like just helping with the grunt work and building farms to support you know, the build, that type of stuff. That's what I help with. And then he does all the fancy building. So anyway, here's what I got from the gold farm. Just here's what I've got. I pulled tons out of here, but the last I don't know um, day or so, last four Minecraft days or so, been AFK here. That's what I got. So I have enough here to do another tier 4 beacon pretty soon. I also use this to make golden carrots because I like to munch on golden carrots sometimes. But that's just if you want to see more about the gold farm, let me know. I can do another video. But before I do that, maybe just go take a look at the one that I already did. If you're interested in this farm, I did a full video on it. So let me see. I also did an iron farm. So let me show you the iron farm. Um, I'm pretty happy with this. This is a Dock M77 iron farm. Um, I've done raise works, and I did a video on how to build that. And I've been talking about doing Dock M77 for a while now. And after we did the Guardian farm, I decided to just go ahead and build it. It's not pretty. I wanted to make it pretty, but at some point I figured I might as well just build the thing and see if it even works, and then I can worry about making it beautiful. So let's see. Let me get some scaffolding. We can go up and take a look. Oh, I've got some right here. Go up and take a look at the build, just so this will probably refresh your memory if you've seen Doc M's tutorial, or I don't know if you'd really call it a tutorial. He kind of included a tutorial, but it was more of a showcase. Um, this is the farm that he was showing. And while I'm climbing up and down here, I'm kind of waiting. Sometimes it takes this farm a little bit to warm up. If I've unloaded the chunk, when I come back into the chunk, um, then it takes it a bit to warm up. But it should start dropping golems here pretty soon. So this is, so these are the villager pods here. So I believe we've got 3 villagers in each pod there. And the way he does it is, let's start in the middle. So you got a zombie and a cauldron here. And then you go out 4 blocks in this direction and you put a bed. So that first bed there is 4 blocks away from the cauldron. It's on the same level as the cauldron. And you can watch Doc M's tutorial for the step by step on how to build this. I won't spend a lot of your time on it today. Anyway, you place this bed, and then you come up and you place these other beds next to it, and then you've got workstations around the beds, and then this water here bubbles the villagers up so that when they're standing down in the water, they can't see the zombie. but when they bubble up, when they pop up, their eye line comes up over this carpet right here, and they can see the zombie and they'll panic for a second. So this gives them a chance to try and sleep and to try and work at their workstations so they're not constantly freaked out, but they're just freaked out enough to spawn golems. So that's the basic configuration of it. And then this was not in DocM's video, so I suggest you do this. One thing I noticed after I built this was that golems were spawning on top of these. I think they were on top of these slabs here. So put a set of bottom slabs over the top of your villager pods, because if golems spawn up there, then the villagers will think there's no need for any more golems, and they won't create any more golems. So when they need a golem, the golem will. Oh, notice the zombie's got something in his hand too, so he doesn't despawn. So I got lucky; he picked that up. I didn't have to use a name tag. Anyway, when the golems spawn, they'll spawn on this 5x5 platform, and the water is set up to wash them off the edge through these fence gates here. And then I wanted to try and build this over an existing iron farm. This was an Avomance iron farm here, and it had, like 2 more decks. Well, I should just say I tore it down so that I only have 1 deck of that iron farm left here, because I need a place for the golems to drop down and they get washed down onto that magma. And then there's a minecart running under that magma that picks up the iron. So I'm wondering if this maybe needs to say daylight or something. Last time I came here, it took it like a Minecraft night to spin up. Maybe they have to have a chance to sleep and come into their work time to get this thing going. But once it gets going, it drops like tons of iron. So I got probably we're doing 300 to 500 iron ingots per hour out of this farm. And that's a pretty reasonable estimate, at least 300, probably much more than that. Because once they get going, it starts dropping. It frequently will drop 2 at a time, and this pit right here will just be full of golems. So they land here. The other thing to notice about this farm is it's up in the sky, and you might be asking yourself why. The reason is that when you want to get rid of the golems as quickly as possible from up here, so that the villagers don't sense them anymore. If the villagers sense that there's a golem in the area, they won't create anymore. So we want to drop the golem away. So this is about, I went up about 25 blocks from the top of this tray right here. So the golems will drop down, they'll drop out of range very quickly, and then they'll get washed into the middle and they'll drop down on this magma. So when they're down on that magma, the villagers for sure can't see them. So they'll keep spawning golems, and once this farm gets going, it's not uncommon to see maybe 3 or 4 golems at a time standing around in here. And I can't really show you the drops because what the owner of this did was took the output from this chest. They're just using it as a buffer, and then they go down through a hopper chain to a minecart collection system, and they scoop up the iron, and it goes into their, they've got a gigantic underground item sorting storage system. So that's where all this iron is going. So you won't see any in this chest. It's all in the storage system downstairs. But I did test it after we built it, and before they hooked it up to the storage system, and I was doing 300 to 500 iron ingots. So that's that. I thought, let me get some rockets here, and I want to show you one other thing while we're here. I know some people like to build things, so some people like to farm, some people like to build things. I'm trying to learn to build a little bit more, but I still like my farms. So let's fly over to my this First of all, I don't know if you've seen this resort, but this is new. So this just got built by the person who owns all of the rest of this. So they decided to do this out here. Very cool. I think I did the inside of that, but now you can see the whole thing. And then I've been meaning to come over here because they're right next to an iceberg biome. And I wanted to try something on ice because I haven't really built anything. So this is my new iceberg home here. And it's modest. It's nothing, it's not a huge build. I really kind of welcome the chance to do something a little bit smaller. Um, After doing that big build, I need a little bit of a break. So I just came over here and I carved into this. And I tried to keep it low key. I didn't want to make it like an ice castle, right? I wanted to make it a house, and I wanted it to look slightly better than an untouched iceberg, just a little bit developed, but I didn't want to do too much. So I just used some leaf blocks, planted a tree, did some prismarine because I needed lighting out front here. And if I put these sea lanterns into the regular ice, it just melts it. So I had to do some kind of block around the sea lantern. So I did prismarine and then packed ice to um, keep the sea lanterns from melting the regular ice. And it ended up with a kind of an interesting like pattern. I kind of like the pattern that it ended up with. So that's my front yard. And then somebody built me a bear. And I kind of like it because it's kind of goofy looking. And then these regular bears like it over there. So I think it's kind of neat that they like to hang out over there. So what I did was I just went inside the iceberg and I hollowed out a room. And then I just went around and I followed the contours of the iceberg. And I put in white stained glass. So I tried to stay true to the natural generation. I did not want to um, mess up the look of this. I only went one high on the glass because I didn't want to have to take out, edge pieces that were above me here because it would change the shape of the iceberg. I also didn't really want to make this little house stand out too much. So I'll do more of the decorating on the inside. So that's what it looks like on the inside. And I can do a second story if I want to. I haven't decided whether I want to bother with that or not. Then I've got this back door here. Come on out. And I have this big ice area behind me here to play with. So I thought, well, I want to make it a little bit more interesting. So I planted a few flowers, did some grass blocks, and planted some flowers and planted a few spruce trees. But I'm not going to do a whole lot more than that. I have been looking at snowy tundra villages, and I might like to maybe try to do a couple of buildings here. We've got lots of spare villagers over in the settlement over that direction where we just came from that could be pretty easily wheeled over here. So I could do a little like a snowy tundra village, those kinds of builds, but on on this ice here out in these bergs. That might make it kind of like a fun place to come. So that's what's going on with the ice. Um, so let's see. The other thing that I wanted to show you was the new big build. So this is going to be the Jedi build, and I'm going to offer to help with the grunt work on this. Um, Let me show you what has been done so far. We'll just TP over there. So this is what it looks like in the beginning. So this is what the gauntlet looked like if you watch the gauntlet video. Actually, it looked a lot like this because we built the gauntlet at the site that was originally intended for this Jedi build. And the owner decided he preferred to build here, so he started restarted the Jedi build here, and then we turned the the other one into the gauntlet. So he's going to need tons of wool, and we learned a lot about wool farms from building the gauntlet. We needed 22,000 blocks of wool and 22,000 pieces of cyan carpet for the gauntlet. So we figured out how to do sheep farms. I did a snow crash sheep farm, and then I keep saying the owner, his name is Nitch, okay? I just call him Nitch. Then Nitch came along behind the snow crash build, and he did this build here, which is very similar to so to the build that Snow Crash based his build on, where the sheep go around in a circle. They're pushed around by water here, and this gives them time to graze, right? So they just snake all the way around this thing, and then they go all the way around the back, and then they go in front of a set of shears. Now we can put shears in a dispenser, right? So it's all automated, all automatic. We just turn that thing on, and we let the sheep just go round and round. We can dye them any color we want. We've got multiple colors in here, or Niche does. And they just get sheared, and then he built an item sorter over here. So this item sorter is used to store, can be used to store blocks, but I'm not sure, but I think he's just using this for carpet. So this is just dedicated to not carpet but wool, right? So the sheep farm, they get sheared right here, and I'm trying to see what I'm looking at here. I'm pretty sure that's it right there. So he's got a bunch of shears up in here. You can load this up with shears, and then that'll keep this loaded because they do wear out. But when they wear out, they just get more from that chest right there. And when they come by here, when this is turned on, it's on a clock. You just got a clock that runs here that shears the sheep. Nice little clock too, very compact. So let me show you what's one of the first things he built. He made this out of quartz, and I think he probably used some wool, but I think this is pretty cool, and I thought you might like to see it if I can get off the ground. All this is going to be dug out. This is going to be another one of those like gigantic builds. I don't know. This is not as big as a gauntlet. I don't think this build is not. We went crazy on the gauntlet, but this is still pretty big. But as you can see, rendering there, he started off with a starship. And I don't remember the name of this. Some of you who are Star Wars fans will probably know the name of this this starship here. But he wanted to have something to put out front to kind of show the place off. So he just got the engines put on here. Let me do a flyover from the back so you can see those. So let me go up. It's you know, these things are so big it's hard to really get a good view of them. If I had fly it would be easier, but I don't. So I have to do my best with the elytra. So that's what he's building now, and it's almost done. And it's actually, I mean, you can go inside and there's like a cockpit and, you know, like whatever you would expect to find in a big plane of this size. And I'm still too close. Let me go back here a little further. It's just nuts, the size of the things that this guy, that Niche does. Anyway, that's his starship build. And then this whole thing here is going to be the most amazing Jedi Temple when he's done. I've seen the prototype. He's already built it in creative, and he did a schematic. So now he can come into onto the GiveCraft server and build it here. And I can't describe it. You'll just have to see it as it develops. So I just thought I'd like to show you what's up next for the next like humongous project. So I've got little projects going on, and then I'll be helping on this one because I got a lot of satisfaction out of helping work on the Gauntlet and on the Guardian farm. So I don't know. That's a good place to end this. If you like the video, please click the like button. If you have questions or comments, please leave those below. And if you want to be sure not to miss out on future videos, please click the subscribe button and the notification bell. Thanks a lot for all your support. I think we might go over 100,000 views on the channel today. It's a number I've been kind of watching. And we've got about 450 people subscribed. So we'll be hitting that 500 mark pretty soon. I'm not sure what all that means. It's just numbers that I look at that kind of inspire me to do more. So thanks a lot for your support on that. And I think I'll just leave it right here. This would be a good place to leave it. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.